Been sitting on that one back there. Thought you was gonna do me dirty, but no. I got your heart in my hand, cause I know you always go back to Wilkes fast. So I snatched your heart. Thought he was over there in the car, he was gonna get your boy, but F no.
Welcome in, everybody, to a concept that really hasn't been seen before. It's an all-star draft. We've seen it at the professional level some, it's been players selecting it, but we have our very own Anthony Simmons and Rod Bridgers making the selections themselves. We have Simmons and Rod, who did a half-court shooting competition to get first selection. Each team gets 10 players. There's a pool of players. Every senior in or from the state of North Carolina is eligible to be selected. We will take the remaining players that were not selected and put them in an East-West format, similar to what we did last year, to preclude the Hoop State Last Dance All-Star Game, Team Simmons versus Team Bridgers.
Good. Let's go. Ah! No good! Oh, shit. No good! Let it rain.
First of all, I ain't shot a shot today. That's good.
No good! Oh, bro. Oh, I see the angle.
From now, the draft is the new wave. We're going to be doing this from here on out, and we're excited to see what you guys think of it and how these two teams shape up. It's going to be a great game, and the show leading up to it is going to be even better. We're going to kick it to Mr. Kamish right now to address you guys.
Welcome to the first ever high school basketball all-star draft. Tonight, the Hoop State Network's very own Rod Bridgers and Anthony Simmons will be general managers of their respective teams, and each will look to build the strongest team of 10 seniors that the great state of North Carolina has to offer. Team Bridgers has selected Shawan Robinson from Panther Creek to be their head coach, while Team Simmons has selected Pootie Chapman from Enloe High School to act as their head coach. And our seniors have worked diligently with a relentless passion over the past 4 years to get them to this point. And we are excited for the opportunity to create a dope environment for your final time wearing a high school jersey. Thank you for allowing us at the Hoop State Network to be a small part of your journeys. Team Simmons won the shoot-off, and they will have first pick. The clock starts now. Gentlemen, good luck.
I love all the bigs in the Hoop State, but if you take the bigs out, this is wide open. So my thing of it is just, you know, thinking now it's like it's an all-star game. So like some people gonna have their Cool Jet song. It's totally different from a regular game. So, you know, right now I'm just trying to pick a squad, because I mean, you know, me and Rob both competitive, and I'm really trying to roll his ass. The Twins, the Crawfords, the K Tysons, the like those guys like that, it's popping. Let it fly, Simmons. We going out like we always do. I'm shooting it from the parking lot.
I will say this. I do know I've talked to my front office guys, and yeah, we got our #1 pick locked in as well. So.
Oh, so you know what you're.
I know which direction I'm going.
My pick is in.
And with the first pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects TAKAI SIMPKINS from Liberty Heights Varsity.
So Anthony Simmons decided to go with TAKAI SIMPKINS with his first pick. Interesting selection, but if you really look into it, it makes sense. This is the kind of game where a kid like TAKAI can really flourish with his up and down athleticism, his end-to-end speed, and the fact that he can make shots at a high level. You look at two redeeming qualities: his competitiveness, which is something that he does every single game. It's one of the reasons Liberty Heights Varsity is in the position they are now. And also the other thing that you need to look at him is just his overall well-rounded athleticism. He's a defender. He can guard multiple spots despite only being around 6'2", 6'3". He gets up and down, he can finish above the rim, and he can create. So I think Simmons kind of found the identity of his team with this first pick.
I mean, honestly, I think Simmons made a good point in the All-Star game. You know, you look at guards as being more exciting. For me, I think I want to build my team kind of inside out. So two guys that I'm got my eye on. Obviously, the top two players on the list, either Patrick Westler from Combine Academy or Deontay Green from Asheville Christian. So Right now, War Room, we're kind of debating between those two, but I think we pretty much settled on who we're going to go with.
And with the second pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Deontay Green from Asheville Christian.
With the second pick of the draft, his first selection, Rod Bridgers selected pretty much the consensus top player in 2022 in North Carolina, Florida State commit, Deontay Green. And you look at Deontay, he's a 6'9", kind of force type player, but he also has some touch on the outside. So you look at Deontay, the first thing that comes to you is his shooting. His ability to make shots at 6'9" from beyond the arc. He's going to be able to give Rod a different dynamic in the front court. He can do a lot of different things on the floor for Rod's team, and it's also just a great piece to kind of build around because he can play with so many different types of guys.
Let the games begin! It's about style of play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about style of play. It's about being able to get up and down and having competitors. I want guys that want to play regardless of what the situation is. Also, it's in Raleigh. So if we put Team Simmons out, I want people to look at it and see Team Simmons, and they booting up for that. You did it. So my pick is in.
And with the third pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects Daniel Sanford from J.L. Chambers High School.
With his second pick and the third pick overall, Anthony Simmons selects Daniel Sanford, J.L. Chambers High School, future South Carolina Gamecock, just an electrifying talent. Has kind of shown the perimeter-oriented stuff of his game this year, but if you look at the big thing that Daniel Sanford is known for, it is just being a force of nature. He's a big, strong kid, plays through contact incredibly well, has shown the ability to create offense for himself, but don't get it twisted. This kid is known for his ability to just be a bully on the floor, and I feel like this is the kind of game where he can really prove a point and show that he should be at least in consideration for the top player in 2022 in North Carolina.
I like it because what he's going for the athleticism, the flair. I love it. Like, and that's the type of game you know we want somebody, a kid that can get up and down and get the crowd involved. I mean, he got two really good ball players. So
high level, check the shoulders.
So for me, one thing about All-Star games, you got to have a CBG, a certified bucket getter.
Yo, get out of here.
They're going to ignite the crowd. See, when you're looking at certified bucket getters, I'm looking at Jordan Crawford or I'm looking at Jayden Epps.
With the fourth overall pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Jayden Epps from Combine Academy.
With his second pick and the fourth pick in the draft, Rod Bridgers selects Jayden Epps. Epps is the best volume scorer in North Carolina. When he gets going, it's just like full-on scorched earth mode, and that's what you think of about him. If I were to describe Jayden Epps in one word, he's a microwave. He's going to heat up with the shot making. He can hit it from the volleyball line. He can take you to the basket. He can run your team. So I think Rod wanted to get that first perimeter player out of the way and got a guy that, one, you can trust with the ball late in the game to make the right play and to make a big shot. Also, just carry you for stretches. And if he can find a way to get going, this can be his type of environment. The Illinois signee is an absolutely electrifying bucket getter. Rod got a good guard with that one.
The beauty of this is, like, we know each other so much and so well, so it's just like, he can't let me double up, I can't let him double up.
I feel like he left Cade Tyson on the board a little too long for his liking, because that's his guy. He loves Cade. I love Cade too. So.
Absolutely.
With the fifth overall pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects Cade Tyson from Carmel Christian School.
With the fifth pick overall, his third, Anthony Simmons selected his guy, Cade Tyson, and this pick makes so much sense for so many different reasons. Cade's having probably arguably the best season of any player in North Carolina right now. So what he's doing, shooting the ball with deep range, which is the main thing that he's known for, the fact that he's got a quick trigger, can make shots off the catch or the dribble with a ton of confidence. He's the kind of player that Simmons, it makes sense that he picked him, and it also fits that he and Sanford can be pretty interchangeable, and it wouldn't surprise me that if we see Simmons do a lot of switching in the lineup as we see kind of the way his team is being constructed with these first few picks. But Cade Tyson going to Simmons with the fifth pick.
This where it really does, it starts to get a little...
It gets spicy, son.
It does, because you want to make sure you're putting guys together that not only can play in this event, but you want to put guys together that can play together. I like Noah Ross a lot from the Trinity Academy because I feel like Noah's a guy that's going to compete.
Oh, you a sucker.
He's going to play.
You are a sucker.
This pick here is a wing pick for me, so I'm looking at three guys. I'm looking at Ezra, looking at MJ Collins is the third guy I'm looking at. So,
with the sixth pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Noah Ross from Trinity Academy.
All right, with the 6th pick, Rod decided to take Noah Ross. And this makes sense based on what Simmons did with the K. Tyson pick. These are two guys that, to be honest, us three have debated which one's better than the other. They're going to match up. This can be an opportunity for them to finally truly settle that debate head to head. And Rod, it's starting to make sense with what he's putting together from a lineup perspective.
I know how to build teams. I mean, I ain't even gonna really get into it. You feel me? Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Ain't nothing to it but to
But
do.
my pick is it. My pick is it. My pick is it.
With the 7th pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects MJ Collins from Combine Academy.
With the 7th pick in the draft, Anthony Simmons selects MJ Collins at a Combine Academy, heading to go play for Mike Young at Virginia Tech. And we already talked about Jayden EPPS as a microwave. MJ Collins, his backcourt mate at Combine, is the exact same way. We know that he can get above the rim and shut the gym down. So if you look at what Simmons is doing with the lineup, he's got an athletic backcourt, he's got a versatile front court, and it's kind of, you're starting to see what he's trying to do.
All right, now I'm kind of back to the bigs. I'm looking at Christian Reeves, Patrick Wessler, especially since the plan is due to Elam ending. I think the game gets really competitive at that point, and you're going to need somebody to be a rim protector.
With the 8th pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Patrick Wessler from Combine Academy.
With the 8th pick, Rod Bridger selects Patrick Wessler. And like I said, I've been harping on it the entire draft show, that this is all about establishing identity. Rod said, okay, we'll be bigger. We're gonna have the size advantage, which is something that translates at every level. But in the All-Star game, you wonder if they can get them the ball. But Rod is starting to set up his team to where he's gonna have that imposing front court presence that should be a factor the entire game if both the two bigs are engaged.
Rod got literally like the Eastern Conference All-Stars, for real. You know what I'm saying? But like having Wessler and Green, I gotta respond to that. I gotta respond to that. So I can't just let him get all the boards.
With the 9th pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects Ezra Azur from Liberty Heights National.
Simmons rounds out the starting 5 with the 9th pick. Ezra AUSAR out of Liberty Heights, currently unsigned, arguably the best unsigned player in the state of North Carolina right now. What he's been doing for Liberty Heights has been unbelievable. 6'8", like 240, in that kind of 230 to 240 range. Him running the floor with Sanford, that's going to be a nightmare for the opposition to deal with. Simmons rounds out his starting 5 with Big Ezra.
It's a big pick, Rod.
It's
a really big pick right here.
It's a big pick. There's no pressure on me right now. We're looking at lead guards at this point, man. So I mean, you look at guys like Elijah Jamison, Nick Graves. I mean, you can look at a Jordan Crawford, just guys like that. Just kind of complete the starting 5, just matchup for matchup. I will say this game is in Raleigh. This is a 9-1-9 game.
And with the 10th pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Elijah Jamison from Liberty Heights National.
With the 10th pick in the draft, Rod Bridgers rounds out his starting 5 with Elijah Jamison. Just a bully type guard, physically imposes himself on the opposition. And this is the kind of game where it's going to be really high level, and if he can find a way to do that, he can leave his mark on this contest. And also, he's showing that he can run a team. And I feel like that's the thing with Rod, is he's going to be asked to do that. Him and EPPS will probably split that duty. But if both of them get going, it's going to be really, really tough to deal with.
Hey, yo, you a hater. Hey, yo, you a hater. Yeah, he got me. He knew I was about to get him for K and Noah Ross for the being by.
That's what
I was about to set him up for the being by.
See, I knew that. I knew that.
Over.
I knew that.
It was over if I allowed my 2 dogs up on that bench.
And my plan was, I was like, if he takes K, if he doesn't take K Tyson, I was absolutely taking him next.
Yes, bro. But yeah, I was definitely trying to say, I'm a big fan of those 2 guys, man. So I was definitely picking those 2. And Enloe is a shooter's gym. We was letting him fly from half. For real. We about to shake it up, man.
In the words of my boy Simmons, so you nervous?
Nah.
With the 11th pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects TAJUAN Simpkins from Liberty Heights Varsity.
With the 11th pick, Anthony Simmons selects TAJUAN Simpkins. I talked about it with him, and if you maximize the twins, if you want to maximize the twins, you put them together. That's exactly what he did. He's a perfect guy to kind of have leading your second unit, and probably a guy Simmons will have out there when the game is ending.
I'm glad. That's good. I'm glad he took him. That's cool. I put the brothers together. I love it. All right. I think what I'm looking at here, man, I need somebody that's going to electrify the crowd, and what I mean by that is somebody who, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be dunking the basketball, but there's one player in this state that can turn the crowd up.
What are you talking about, Simmons?
They can turn the crowd up, and he doesn't dunk a basketball. My pick is in.
Who's it going to be, Simmons?
No! No, man!
My pick is in.
With the 12th pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Jackson Holt from Moravian Prep National.
With the 12th pick, Rod Bridgers said, you know what I need off the bench? Firepower. So he brought in the state's best shooter, Jackson Holt. Listen, this kid's on the floor. He's a very good player. He's on the floor to do one thing in this game. Let it fly. Rod's going to absolutely give him the green light. There's not even going to be a street light. It's just going to be like a 5-lane freeway for him to do whatever he wants on. He's going to be launching threes. It's going to be a big game, and this is a perfect opportunity for him as an unsigned kid to show what he can do.
Yes, no, my pick is in. My pick is in. My pick is in. My pick is in. I'm glad. My pick is in. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. My pick is in.
Is that the wildest pick so far?
No, that's the smartest pick ever. Because yo, my pick is in. My pick is in.
With the 13th pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects Po' Boy King from Word of God Christian Academy.
With the 13th pick, Simmons said, all right, bet. You got Holt, I'll take Po' Boy. So he took Po' Boy King out of Word of God, and it makes sense because you want to have someone that can come off your bench and just let it fly, just like Rod did. Simmons said, all right, let's do this.
Big for Pat, we can have a contest.
With the 14th pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Quante Berry from Winston-Salem Christian.
Hey, you ain't saying that but a word. You ain't saying that but a word.
With the 15th pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects Raphael Gay from Winston-Salem Christian.
Ooh, you son of a. Ooh, you son of a. Ooh.
This is tough.
With the 16th pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Jordan Crawford from North Meck High School.
With the 16th pick, Rod Bridgers selects Jordan Crawford out of North Meck, heading to College of Charleston next year. Just a guy that can go get a bucket. An undersized guard, he can get above the rim though. He's a really, really good athlete. Won MVP of our fall league back in 2020.
With the 17th pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects CAMIAN from Winston-Salem Christian.
So with the 17th pick, Anthony Simmons selects CAMIAN out of Winston-Salem Christian. And what Simmons did here is, I have a guy that can come in and run my second unit. He can get the ball to whoever needs it. He can also go make a play himself. We've seen him in some big moments make big things happen for Winston-Salem Christian this year.
He's one of the best scorers in the state. He's so unassuming as a basketball player when you watch him. But then, when we played against him last year, my initial thought when we played him, I was like, yo, it's gas, bro. Like, you one of those kids that's getting buckets on bullshit. Right. But then I saw him give us 25 in the top 80, so. That's my pick.
With the 18th pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Nate Bradford from Raven Gap.
With the 18th pick, Rod Bridgers selects out of Raven Gap, Nate Bradford. Now, he's kind of an unorthodox player. He's probably 6'9", maybe 190 pounds. Potentially give some of Simmons' guys matchup issues with the fact that he can make plays creating offense with the ball in his hands and make shots from a deep range, really spread guys out and make things happen. So late in the draft, Rod gets a guy that can kind of potentially be an X factor if things are going well for him.
What's your team?
Deontay Green, Jayden, EPPS, Noah.
God, run it back.
Oh, I see it. Go ahead. I see who he's going to pick. Go ahead. I don't know though. I know exactly who he's picking. Stolen Hodge, man. Come on, let's go.
No.
No.
With the 19th pick in the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Simmons selects Xavier McKelvey, United Faith Christian Academy.
So Simmons, trying to round out his lineup with the 19th pick, he takes Xavier McKelvey at a United Faith Christian Academy, heading to Winthrop next year. Just another electrifying guard that can get above the rim, make deep shots. One of the most exciting players in the state of North Carolina.
There's some smoke on both sides.
It is.
And with the final pick of the 2022 Last Dance Draft, Team Bridgers selects Kenai Briggs from the Burlington School. And that concludes the first ever high school all-star draft brought to you by the Hoop State Network. We appreciate you tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you at the game.
I want you first and foremost to have fun because this is an all-star game. we're celebrating you guys for having a terrific high school career, but at the end of the day, you're still competitors, and we're gonna come out here and compete. And every time you step on a basketball court, whether you're playing to have fun or you're playing any type of game, you play to win the game. So that's what we want to do. We want to win. I mean, make no mistake about it. I'm one of the biggest competitors you ever meet. So I put this team together to win.
We're in Raleigh. We're in my city. Like, y'all got something to prove. Like, I want them to play with that grit and that hunger. Like, I want them to play this like it's a real basketball game.
Anthony Simmons, listen here, brother. When Team Bridgers wrap their 24-inch pythons around you like this, brother, we squeeze the life out of you at Enloe High School. I don't know the date yet, brother, but the Hoop State Last Dance is coming. I need all you
I don't care about the names. It's Team Simmons, and we getting them boys out of here. In this city, me and Boob, Enloe High School, for suplex time on Bridges. Go walk that brother to the middle of the ring. Hold them boys out there, that boots gonna be shaking like this. And we dropping the boy outside the ring, man. We're Backstreet.